Studio B2. Tony, thanks for taking the time to share with us today.
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. Tell us a little bit about your background.
So I went to college for 4 years at Kent State University as an art major. Went through 3 different majors just to get to fine arts education. And then my main focus was in painting. And when I got out of college, I joined the sheriff's department and had a 13-year career there before before hanging it up and decided to go full-time painting.
Very good, very good. So how did you come up with your style of art?
Originally when I started doing paintings, people started asking for commission paintings, and a lot of the requests were for sports paintings. And so I started doing commission paintings for people of Bengals players and Reds. And then I was donating paintings for cancer benefits and heart disease benefits. And so that's kind of where I started because I didn't have a subject matter at the time. So then when I started going full-time as an artist, I wanted to just build up my portfolio and decided to start painting cityscapes, and wanted to get a better idea of arranging composition and trying to figure out what's the best way to get this image without, confining myself to a photorealistic style. So my biggest thing is trying to find a good balance between abstraction and expression and realism.
Right.
And so for me, I want to try to create the most candid moment I can come up with.
So with a lot of action and just capture the moment.
Just unsuspecting moments that shows vulnerability. And so I had a friend take me out to get reference shots, and he taught me a trick of putting a GoPro on the front of a car and driving through the city and just let it record, and then kind of take mental notes of moments and go back and pick that clip out. So that's my reference shot right there. Actually, one of my pieces over here is the girl in pink, and it was a great moment where we stopped at the stoplight, and this family's crossing the street, and this little girl is watching us as we're sitting at the stoplight, and her family was dressed in black, continuing on. So it's just a good moment where everything points to this girl, and it's perfect.
You can't describe that without showing.
Right. Thank you so much. Yeah. So, this is just a great shot, and this is probably one of my favorite paintings that I've done. This right here is just a print. The original is a 36 by 24 inch painting, currently up in the gallery, but right now, this is probably one of my favorite images that we've gotten.
Yeah, the perspective is perfect. It just draws you through the entire piece.
Yeah, everything worked out real nicely for this one. And so that's kind of where I was my first year as a full-time artist. This year, I've moved away from the cityscapes, and everything just kind of evolves as I go along with my style. And now I'm doing more figurative styles of paintings, and I'm working with a photographer to get reference shots of cancers. And I met with this photographer, Romy Platt. She works with Cincinnati Ballet, and I kind of told her what my vision was. So we've been meeting up and trying to figure out, what it is I'm looking for my subject matter.
Yeah, what fun that must be.
Oh, it's great. It's so much fun, and I'm trying to free up my style now, where I'm not getting so meticulous with the details, but I'm going in there and being more expressive with my brush strokes. I'm working on a larger scale to kind of get my whole body into my painting. And I'm really kind of, like I said one more time, is trying to have a nice balance between realism and expressionism and abstraction. And so here, you can kind of get an idea of what I'm going for. My most recent painting, this actually is another print. The original went to the photographer, but I started with this one, and I just want to try to create this movement, and the focus is bodies in motion. So that's where I got with this one, and this one's the first of the series. But then I started on this one, And the biggest thing is trying to get in there and get your shapes down, and I try to get my image down as quickly as possible, and then I just go in and I start going with little details, and I try to figure out where do I want to have my focus most, and then what do I want to do to kind of really bring this painting out in a dynamic way. So I've got the brush strokes, the drip marks, try to figure out how can I create this organic feel.
Yeah.
So
now what media are you working in on most of these?
Everything's oil.
Okay.
To get these drip marks, I mixed stand oil with the paint, and then you kind of got to be really patient with it because it dries so slowly. So I hung it upside down and gave it, I suspended it, and got these great drip marks. And then once the drips were where I wanted them to be, I laid it flat and just let it dry. It took about 2 weeks. Yeah, it took about 2 weeks to get that dry effect, but I love it so much.
Very, very cool.
Yeah, and this is my most recent piece, which I went with a more geometric approach. I started with the background with the gray, and then I went with the stripes. And this whole thing has been a work in progress. Work in process. I'm trying to figure out what direction I want to go the most with it, and really, it's kind of turning into its own piece of artwork. And
so the painting kind of talks to you and lets you know.
Yeah, I just kind of follow what direction. Yeah,
I
I just kind of look for what I see in it. And I really wanted to focus on the face, and I wanted to get these great details, and then I want to be really expressive in other parts, and have this painterly quality to it, but I want there to be texture, and then I wanted there to be a focus on the primary colors, so you got your red, blue, and yellow, and it's just it all ties together.
Get that good mix between the realism and the you got it, you did it.
Yep. And right now I keep thinking I'm done, but then I keep coming back, and there's more to be done. So.
Right. So now, how long have you been part of the Essex? I know you've been here for quite some time.
Since 2015.
Nice.
I got a space when I was living in Norwood, and it was just me and my wife before we had our kids, and I needed a place to put my artwork. I got tired of putting my artwork away from the house, and I decided to check in on Essex, and they had this great spot in the basement. I've been here ever since.
Yeah. So now, what are some of the advantages to being at the Essex?
You got a great artist community. There's a lot of resources here. People you can kind of get their ideas on certain perspectives. If there's something I have a question about that I want to accomplish, good resources here. And,
keeping up to date on shows and events that are going on.
Yeah, and it's really nice. You benefit by, like, if somebody's looking for something in particular, an artist will refer a customer your way, and you do the same for them. It's a community.
Very good. So what would you say to aspiring artists? I always ask this question. Just somebody either getting into it, or maybe somebody that's in a rut. You mentioned you kind of shifted gears here and there.
Don't focus so much on mastering your technique. You're never going to learn it all. You're never going to know as much as you think. You just got to be a constant student and figuring out. I think when you feel like you've reached the apex of what you're doing, you're going to become stagnant, and you're going to there's nothing more to strive for. And that's every painting I do is I'm pushing myself further than I did my last painting. Like, how can I be a better artist in this painting than I was in my most recent painting? Just in 2 years alone, I look at my artwork, and I can see the improvement, and I can definitely see a direction, which is really inspiring for myself.
Very good. Now, I might have some links that are attached to the video. How can people get a hold of you? Want to do special requests and things along those?
I'm on Instagram and Facebook under Tony Lips Art, LIPPS. And then I also have a website, www.tonylipsart.com, and you can see all my artwork there. You can sign up for my newsletter. I can sell prints directly from my website. I sell originals directly from my website, and of all sizes too, which is great.
Sounds like it's easy to get a hold of you.
Yeah,
that's
very
good.
much.
Good. Hey Tony, thanks for taking the time to share with us today. I really appreciate it, and thanks so much for being part of the Essex.
Thank you.